Are set to resume play on Thursday against the Devils, but now that game may be in jeopardy. Plus, why the 11 games before the All-Star break may make or break the Islanders' chances this season. All that and more coming up on this episode of the Locked On Islanders podcast.
Your Locked On Islanders, your daily podcast on the New York Islanders. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
All right, everybody, and welcome to the Tuesday edition of the Locked On Islanders podcast. So glad you could join us today, and thank you for making Locked On Islanders your first listen every day. We are, as always, free and available on all platforms. That does include YouTube, so check us out there. Each new episode on YouTube posts around 8 o'clock in the morning Eastern time. And just do a search for Locked On Islanders and subscribe, so it'll be in your inbox every morning whenever you want to watch this podcast. We've got a lot to discuss on today's show. The Islanders scheduled to resume play Thursday at the UBS Arena. They are scheduled to take on the New Jersey Devils, but now some COVID issues there. We'll talk about that, and hopefully they'll be able to get that game in. The Islanders have had enough delays and postponements this year, as we all know. Plus 11 games left until the All-Star break, and those games give the Islanders really their last good chance to get back into the playoff race. We'll talk about the importance of those games, break them down, and show you why they are so vital to the Islanders' success for the rest of this season. We've got our Islanders' birthday of the day. We'll go back to the mid-2000s for that one, and a whole lot more coming up on today's show. If you have something Islanders related on your mind, you have a question, a comment, a topic that you'd like us to talk about on the show, feel free to send us an email. The email address is lockedonislanders@gmail.com. And if you leave your first name and where you're from, we are happy to mention you on the show when we talk about whatever it is that's on your mind. You could also follow the show on Twitter at Locked On Isles, and you could follow me, Gil Martin, on Twitter at Ice Wars, NYRVSNYI. And we'll keep you up to date on all the latest Islanders news, notes, and happenings. Let's get started with the bad news as far as short-term concerned. The Islanders scheduled to start play again on Thursday when they host the New Jersey Devils. And, well, shock of shocks, the Devil game that was to take place on Monday postponed because of, yes, a COVID break on the New Jersey Devils. Two more players in and woke and overall now that means well, the Islanders not play the game and unless doing like New Jersey and certainly it was disruption. They've been, you know, already now 2 or 3 days as a result of another team getting COVID. You and me was taking a big risk and probably making a mistake when they posted the international road trip. Because, yes, I understand wanting as many fans as possible. That makes big look the NHL the risk of variant spreads. Additional postponed games between now and let's see the All-Star break. It might be better for the league in the long run. You want to finish that 8-game schedule roughly by 50% capacity in an jeopardizing crazy. And the problem is this: I had a plan to finish the next round of playoffs in NHL, and they tested travel and schedule, but they were able to get through it. The don't see really, and with Omicron being easily spread, and the Delta variant putting some gears of the machine, so to speak, the league just does not seem to have a plan in place other than cancel as many games as they feel they have and then try to reschedule. Cancel the Olympics, fill in, okay, we've got the extra weeks to try to cram in some games. But as far as actually having a way to deal with the problem itself, the league is more reactive than active. And as a result, we see all of these canceled. Now, obviously, the New Jersey Devils, we hope they go on Thursday. We hope Islanders and the Devils get to play. But, I don't blame the Devils themselves, the players and the organization, if they still have too many players in COVID protocol and aren't able to play on Thursday. But again, for the Islanders, this season has already seen a 13-game road trip, 3 large gaps in the schedule as a result of COVID. When does it all end? When does it get back to a situation where, the schedule is relatively consistent and the league is taking more steps to make sure that games get played one way or the other? It's frustrating. It's cold. But you know what? It's something that all of our society is dealing with right now, and hopefully the NHL finds a way to get it done. When we come back, we'll talk about 11 games between now, the resumption of play, which hopefully still will be Thursday, All-Star game, and why that will probably make or break the New York Islanders season this year. So join us for that. And Islanders' birthday of the day, and a whole lot more still to come on the Locked On Islanders podcast. Today's episode by Primal Originals. Got beer. Get Primal. You heard me right. Got beer. Get where some care about has a beard. It needs it. Primal considered the benefit of treating your beard with product, but Primal Origin Oils will stop the itch and make your beard look healthy and groomed. The products are free from harmful synthetic ingredients and have a low impact on our planet. Primal Origin Oils makes balms, oils, and whipped butter that are renowned as the best feel in beard products available. All products are fair trade certified and handcrafted in the USA. The combo kits make a great holiday gift, and if you're shopping for yourself, you'll be glad that you did. We know that every company claims to have the best, but Primal Origin Oils challenges you to compare their ingredients and the feel in beard to the other products you've used. We promise you will see and feel the difference. Remember the code LOCKEDON, one word, locked on, gets you 20% off at primaloriginoils.com. Use the code LOCKEDON at checkout for 20% off at primaloriginoils.com. So the Islanders have 11 games scheduled, and I use the schedule for a reason, and we talked about the difficulties. But between now and the All-Star break, which is in early February, the Islanders have 11 games on their schedule. And quite honestly, this stretch of 11 games gives the Islanders the chance they've been looking for to get back into the playoff hunt. Can they reach a playoff berth even if they go 11-0-0? No, probably not. They'll probably still not be in the top 3 or 4 spots in the division. Almost certainly they won't. But here's the situation. Out of these 11 games, 10 of them are at home. And you know where the only road trip is? And it's scheduled for a week from tonight, Tuesday, in Philadelphia. That's a 90-minute bus ride with no traffic. You have got home games in 10 of the 11. The only road trip is 90 minutes away by car or bus. And you're playing some teams that are also struggling. The Devils, the Flyers, you're facing them 3 times in this 11-game stretch. The Coyotes are a team that is struggling. The Kraken are struggling, and they make their first appearance at UBS Arena on January 29th. And then the Ottawa Senators, the last game that the Islanders play before the All-Star break, again, assuming that they go ahead with the All-Star game. And again, whether they should or shouldn't is a whole different question. So realistically, 7 of these 11 games are against teams that are struggling. You got 1 against the Devils, 3 against the Flyers. You've got the Coyotes, you've got the Kraken, you've got the Senators. And then other games, the other games you got the Maple Leafs, which is never easy. The Kings, which is a team roughly, doing a little better than where the Islanders are. The Capitals, who you got to try to catch up with. And then the Wild, who are playing some pretty darn good hockey out west. But overall, you have these 11 games, 10 at home, 7 against struggling teams. If you can go 8-2-1 or 8-1-2 or 7-2-2 in these 11 games, you can get back into the playoff hunt. And that's what the Islanders need to do. If they don't do it, if they don't get, let's say, at least 16 points out of these 11 games, you're talking about a very hard climb to get back into the playoff hunt. And, that window there, the All-Star break, after the All-Star break, you probably have, 3 weeks of hockey to play before the trade deadline. But maybe you start getting an early start on the trade deadline if you don't do well in this 11-game stretch. Now, again, I'm assuming all 11 of these games will be played as scheduled, which may be asking a lot. And look, no game in the NHL is easy. We know that. Those guys get paid too. But not only are 7 of the 11 against teams that are struggling, 10 of the 11 are at home. But right now, the Islanders are healthy almost to a man, with the possible exception of Ryan Pulock, who we still don't have a timetable for. But, to have only one player out of the lineup is pretty close to, that's a normal set of circumstances, even without COVID. And almost every Islanders player, knock wood, seems to have had COVID already. So it's not like the Islanders it would be unusual. Let me knock wood. I don't even want to jinx it, but it would be unusual and difficult for the Islanders to have a major wave of COVID go through this team. The only potential problem you've got, given the circumstances, is that, to my knowledge, neither Semyon Varlamov nor Ilya Sorokin has come down with COVID. Now, I may be wrong, but I don't recall either one of them having it. But realistically, these 11 games, you're going to be pretty darn close to healthy. You have, for the first time all year, I think, you'll have almost your complete lineup. Because remember, at the beginning of the season, no Semyon Varlamov. Let's start with that. You didn't have Matt Martin at the beginning of the season. There were guys out of the lineup early, and then COVID hit, and then more injuries hit. This Islander team has never, since the beginning of the season, been completely healthy and ready to play. Now they are. And, we talked on the show yesterday, and we did an analysis, and we had some quotes from Barry Trotz and from players, and mentioning that attention to detail and playing within the system is so important to the New York Islanders' success. When you win games 2-1, 3-2, 3-1, you have to be in the right position. And when you add the COVID problems, the injury problems, and even issues like integrating new players into the system, like Zdeno Chara, who struggled at first, Zach Parise, who struggled at first, Kyle Palmieri, who struggled last year when he first joined the Islanders, and for some unknown reason struggled again this year. But overall, it does take time to be precise and to do this system the right way. And, that's one reason that Barry Trotz and Lou Lamoriello prefer veterans, because veterans learn this system a little bit quicker than some of the younger guys and are able to do it more precisely, more often than some of the younger guys. But right now, 11 games between Thursday, when hopefully they resume, and the All-Star game, which is the weekend of February 3rd. If the Islanders can win, and let's say at least 7 of those 11 games and get at least 16, let's even say 15 points out of those 11 games, they should be right back in the swing of things. So fingers crossed that everything goes according to plan. They do resume play Thursday against the Devils, but the next 11 games between then and the All-Star break, a golden opportunity and maybe the last opportunity for the New York Islanders to get back into the playoff hunt. And if they do it, then you worry about the next segment of 5 or 10 games as they come after the All-Star break. Probably the number of games between the All-Star break and the trade deadline. If you don't do it, maybe you start trading off some players a little bit earlier to try to clear up some cap space and retool for next year, excuse me. All right, we've got more to get to on today's show. We'll have our Islanders birthday of the day and more coming up. But first, this episode is brought to you by your friends at BetOnline. BetOnline would like to wish you a happy new betting year as we continue our march to the playoffs and beyond. BetOnline remains the number one spot for all the best sports wagering action for 2022. It's a new year, and they have a new updated desktop and mobile website. So sign up today and receive a 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Just use the promo code LOCKEDON to get started. That's locked on, one word. And yes, that 50% welcome bonus is from betonline.ag to you because you listen to the Locked On Islanders podcast. From football, basketball, hockey, boxing, and UFC, right to your favorite Vegas casino games. Don't wait to take advantage of all the amazing offers available for 2022. BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way to wager on all your favorite sports. BetOnline, where the game starts. Time now for our Islanders birthday of the day. We're going to take you back to the mid-2000s and wish a very happy birthday, a very happy 41st birthday to former Islanders center Justin Mapletop by the Isle, 5th round back in 1999 after a very good career with the Red Devils of the Western League. He's a native Lloydminster, Saskatchewan. 6'1", 202 pounds, and started his career in Bridgeport in 2001-2002. Played 11 games for the Islanders in 2002-2003, 27 more in 2003-2004. Later went to Europe, played in the Swedish Elite League, the German League, came back and played for the Binghamton Senators of the AHL, and then finished out his career in Austria, Germany, Switzerland, and then back into another European league. His last year as a professional hockey player, 2011, 2012, only 38 career NHL games, all of them with the Islanders, 3 goals, 9 points, 8 penalty minutes. And yes, in 2002, 2003, he did play 2 postseason games with Islanders that year. We're going to go back and look at Justin Mapletop's better games with the Island back to March 13th, 2003 at the Skyreach Center. In Edmonton, Islanders, Oilers, Gulf Islanders, and were Edmonton. And it was the Oilers getting on the board first. Sean Horkoff, his 10th from Steve Stais, just 2 minutes and 17 seconds into the game. Islanders down 1-0. And then former Islander Ryan Smith, his 23rd from Ales Hemsky and Alexei Semenov at 5:11. We're 5 minutes into the game. Islanders already trailing 2-0. But they bounce back just 36 seconds after Smith scores. Our Islanders' birthday of the day, Justin Mapletop, his 2nd of the year. Yanni Nienema and Aaron Asham with the assists at 5:47. That cuts the Edmonton lead to 2-1, and that's how they stood after the first period. In the second period, Jason Blake ties the game 6.5 minutes in, his 23rd. Michael Pekka and Kenny Janssen with the assists. And then the Islanders take their first lead of the game. Sean Bates, his 13th from Randy Robitaille and Alexei Yashin at 14:09. After 40 minutes, the Isles 3 and the Oilers 2. In the third period, Mark Parrish extends the Islanders' lead, his 22nd of the year. Jason Blake, the lone helper, at 5:25. And then Blake ends the scoring with an empty netter at 19:40 of the third period. It's an unassisted empty net goal. Islanders down the Oilers in Edmonton by a score of 5-2. Jason Blake, 2 goals and an assist in this one. But for Justin Mapletop, our Islanders' birthday of the day, a goal at even strength, and he had 2 shots on goal in this game, despite the fact that he only played 9 minutes and 57 seconds. Garth Snow, 22 saves to earn the win. Islanders out shooting the Oilers 33-22. So a good game right there for Justin Mapletop. He's 41 years old today, and he is our birthday of the day. Will the Islanders resume their schedule on Thursday? I sure hope. Difficult to wait as a member of the media and as a fan. You know, it's January. Hope everyone is staying warm out there. I know it's a cold, cold day here on Long Island. And, you know, when you have this kind of weather, you want hockey. And hopefully we will get Islanders hockey back before the week is over. We'll keep on Twitter, by the way, as soon as we hear anything regarding the scheduling of the game. Thanks for making Locked On Islanders your first listen every day. Tomorrow, we'll have our weekly farm report and a whole lot more, so make sure you join us for that. Make your second listen Locked On Bets. It's your daily one-stop shop for all your gambling needs. Locked On Bets is hosted by your boy Q with expert analysis and insight from Lee Sterling. It's free and available on all platforms. That does it for this episode of the Locked On Islanders podcast. Have a great day, everyone. stay safe, and of course, let's go Islanders.